Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the debate show. I'm with my brothers in the building. What you lot saying, man? Then we got man like Ash in the building. Ash, how are you, man? How are you?
Yeah, all good. As I was saying to you a little bit before, getting the steps in, you know, just chilling. Waiting for this United game tomorrow in Newport, seeing what team we're going to be putting out. So excited about what's going on with the ownership and all that, and Barada and all that. So I'm excited to be as always. Thanks for having us, Said.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We got man like Adam, the Professor Adam, in the building. What are you saying, bro?
I'm all good, bro. I'm all good. Thanks for having me again. And very peaceful last 2 weeks for me. Not really much to... No United, so I've been focused on the things I have to do. Been quite useful, to be honest, but pleasure to be here as always. Big up, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. Big up to you. We got man like Staffy in the building. Staffy, what are you telling me?
Blessed, alhamdulillah. Thanks for having me, Saeed. Big up to the guys here. Big up, Ash, first time meeting you. Big up to everyone in the comments. Make sure you guys smash a like, subscribe, and no Marcel today. I'm a little bit upset here. Now, who am I going to argue with today? I got to find someone to argue with, but we'll see. Maybe Rhino will put up a fight today.
Yeah. Yo, trust me. Big up Rhino in the building as well. Also, man, come on, man. What are you telling me, bro?
Big up. What's my signal saying? Is my stream looking good so far?
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect.
But yeah, big up as always, man. Appreciate you having me side as always. Big up Ash. Big up Adam. I don't know. I think I've been on with Adam already. I'm not sure, but yeah, Ash. Big up Ash as well. Yeah, having it, Adam. So yeah, big up you guys, Staffy as always, and you guys make sure you like liking the video. Let's have this debate. What's this whole Tuchel stuff I'm seeing in the chat? What's happening,
I don't know what I've just seen now, man. I don't know what I've just seen now.
No.
This is not great news, man. Basically, Matt Law has just come out and just said basically that Tuchel is in frame for the Man United job. He's on the Man United list if he leaves Bayern Munich and Erik ten Hag is sacked, and understood he is keen on a return to England. Oh my God, please, man. So, guys, I don't know if you guys rate Tuchel, yeah, but I don't rate him one bit, you know. I don't rate him one bit at all, man. I think he's a fraud, me. I know he won the Champions League and whatnot, but he, for me, is not on my list, man. Generally, he's not on my list, but guys, I start with you, Ash. Tuchel, are you a fan of him? Bayern Munich right now, they're not really rating him over there. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, I don't know, bro. I'm a road. I don't really know about this guy. Can't lie to you.
Another failed manager at top clubs, failed at Paris, failed at Chelsea, failed at Bayern. Do you know what I mean? And then he's going to come to United. What's that saying about us? I don't want to go anywhere near him. He's not the guy for me. Yeah, I just thought. I know it's breaking news and he's part of the list and that, but I'm just hoping it's one of those where I don't. You know what? I just don't even want to think about it. I don't want Tuchel like you said. I don't think he's good enough. Yeah. I don't like his football. I don't like the way he plays out the back. You know, he's very pragmatic in the way he plays. He's just not a Manchester United manager. Yeah, not for me. Not for me.
Yeah, 100%, man. You know what it is? I think it's too pragmatic for me, man. That's why I don't really fancy him, man. I don't really like the 5 on the back system anyway. You get me? I don't really like the fact that he's very like when you played against us. Yeah, I didn't see anything really flamboyant. I looked at his stint at Chelsea. I don't think it was crazy football. You had Raheem Sterling playing right wing back, etc., etc. For me, he wouldn't be my first choice pick if I'm being really honest with you. But if them reports are coming out now, especially from Matt Law, I know he's a Chelsea journalist, but Adam, what are you thinking tactically from Tuchel? Is he someone that you think can give something? What are you saying?
Yeah, I think the problem is not tactically because we've had tactical managers and it's not working. Like Ten Hag is a tactical manager and Rangnick is a tactical manager. So even if Tuchel is another one, I don't know if he's going to make I wouldn't say he's not my first pick, but I don't really have a first pick at the moment for next manager. I really don't know, to be honest. But I don't mind Tuchel. I think he wouldn't be my first pick, but I think he's a good manager. And I like back threes, to be honest. And when he was at Chelsea, I thought they were quite all right. At the end, when he got sacked and he left, okay, fine, it wasn't good enough or what, but it wasn't so bad. Though the games they played against City many times where they played City off the park, they had the ball, they moved them around. I remember those games very vividly, and there are many examples of that. And I think he's a very competent manager, but it's more than just competent manager when it comes to tactics, because I mean, that is not enough. Because I know Ten Hag is a tactical manager, but the rest is off. And at the moment, he's losing the plot. So what tells us that the same thing won't happen with Tuchel, especially when he has a history of falling out with with boards and stuff like that, and with players. So I don't think it's a good mix, but I don't think he's a bad manager.
Yeah. Staffy, what are you saying, man? In terms of the Tuchel, just in general, like when you look at his since he's been at Dortmund and whatnot, Chelsea, like, do you think he's on that kind of, I'm not saying elite level, but you reckon he's the one where you think he could take United forward in that aspect? Like when you look at him, you like, man's confident in this guy. What are you saying?
I don't think he can take us forward on the pitch, let alone forward as a club. This guy's one of the most overrated managers I've ever seen. He got the Chelsea job. Excuse me. Got the Chelsea job after he got sacked from PSG for being absolutely abysmal there. Goes to Chelsea, does absolutely horrible in the league, wins the Champions League because of the brilliance of that defense. Let's be very honest. That Chelsea team that won the Champions League, defensively, one of the best defensive teams I've seen in recent years. Mendy had a world-class year. All the defenders from Rudiger to Christensen to Thiago Silva to everyone that had in that backline, even Kante, who was putting man-of-the-match performances game after game in that Champions League campaign. Those guys were the reason they won the Champions League, but apparently all the credit that went to Tuchel. But listen, rightfully so, he won it at the time. That's it. What's he ever done? The only reason he won the German league last year is because Dortmund on the other side bottled it. It was supposed to win it. How many times have we watched this Bayern team in the past 11 years where they won the league, and we're like, yo, they kind of didn't deserve to win it. We always call it a farmers league because Bayern win the league with about 4, 5, 6 games left. It's always been like that. And this guy goes in and he makes an absolute mess out of Bayern. And he's not even respected in his own country. That's the thing. He said, I always felt more loved in England. So if you're not loved in your own household, if your parents don't respect you, your siblings, your family don't respect you, how do you expect the streets to respect you? So if you don't get respected at home, how are you going to be respected outside? The guy's not even respected in Germany, bro. So no, I would stay as far away as possible from him.
Rhino, what you saying? Are you looking at just kind of, anything's better than Ten Hag, or is it got to be the right appointment now here? When you look at his England, still, it wasn't great in terms of Premier League wise, but he did things on the Champions League. He's more of a cup manager than you would call, like,
Yeah, do you know what it is for me? Yeah, I'm a bit more with Adam. I do think he's not as bad. He's not a bad manager. He can do his thing, but we don't need to go for a person that's not a bad manager. We've got a lot of work to do at this club, and with Staffy in terms of the respect and stuff, we need players we need a manager to come in that has respect. Home is where the heart is. If you're not respected at home, you gain respect in your local area, and then you branch out. So when it comes to that, just the whole respect thing, and on top of that, the man management and personality as well, we don't need a manager like him, man. And if it comes to skill set, I don't think he's at that level. Technically, you might argue Ten Hag might be better than him if you weigh up everything, what they've done in their history. You know what I mean? But even then, like, Ten Hag's not good enough. So yeah, I'm not with it, man. I won't touch Tuchel with a barge pole, man. To be honest with you.
You know what's mad though? Yeah, looking, there's going to be a big manager merry-go-round.
And also, I think it's Chelsea PR as well. Sorry, I think there's a bit of Chelsea PR there, man. That journalist is a bit of there's a bit of PR there. Not Chelsea, but there's a bit of PR there. Maybe he's working with his agent or something, or maybe he's just trying to put it out there, put some feelers out there. You feel me? Yeah.
That's true. Because everybody's going to be wanting to link with United job.
I think he wants to come back to the league. That's the thing. But you know how it is with players. Whenever you want, this is what agents do. Whenever you want your player to either get a good move or to get a pay rise, they always link him to United, and we always know that.
Yeah, facts.
I think that to me that's happening with Tuchel right now, because I do think Tuchel wants to leave and he wants to come back to the Prem. I don't think it will be though, but it's what better club to link your agent with other than United, because United is always the team that needs a new player or needs a new manager to go back to the glory days. So let's just link Tuchel there, and maybe someone will try to snatch him. I think that's
the profile at United is crazy. So look at how Omar Barada's profile's blown up just for being connected to United. So 100%, yeah, man.
By the way, today, man, I got exclusive today about Omar Barada, man. I heard he's a madman. Today, man, I met some guy at brunch today, man, and he's got like connections in it. And he was saying like, "Yo, Omar Barada, like this guy's serious, man." So I was just gassed when I heard
he's come to shake things up, Saeed.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He was saying like, "Yo, this guy's coming here not to play around, man. This guy's coming here to shake things up, man." So that's why I'm saying like, don't be expected to not hear that. You know what I mean? The manager goes and whatnot.
Must be the Moroccan. Yo, Adam, hit him up. Hit him up. That's your countryman.
Right? Yeah. Is it from Morocco? Yeah, it's from Morocco. I didn't know.
Morocco.
Out there. Yeah, Morocco, man. Yo, listen, we got one Morocco. Now we're getting a couple Moroccans now, man. So
hey, listen, Adam's gonna be next. He's gonna link him up with a job.
Yeah, bro. You don't want me there because I might hit someone.
I
might just pull Morocco.
You know what it is, yeah. Yeah, it's true. Jim starts officially 4th of February, yeah. But when you look at this manager merry-go-round, yeah, are you guys not worried, yeah, that we're not going to get the best one available? Because Barcelona manager might get sacked. Chelsea Pochettino might get sacked because, again, if he doesn't win a trophy, but look at that, Barcelona losing 2-0 right now, and they're so way off the league. So when you look at it right now, there's going to be a manager that's going to be linked with that job. You know what I'm saying? So, Jurgen Klopp's left the job now. Who else is kind of like in limbo in terms of their
Xabi Alonso's going to get a job, and Charlotte and Xavi, from the looks of it, they're going to be gone soon because Girona's absolutely cooking them in that league right now. And let's be aware of this as well. Say Ten Hag will be one of these guys that gets a job if we sack him, because he's still well respected around Europe. So one of these jobs that are going to be vacant, he's going to take one of them. But I agree, 100%. There's going to be a merry-go-round with all these managers. You can just tell that there's a cycle of managers that's ending at certain clubs, and everyone's going to get a shift. You know how like the same thing happens with players when one player has to go to this team and they start creating vacancies for all other players to move around. There hasn't been a one in a while for managers, if you really think of it. You know, how many managers have been here for a long time? So I think we're going to be in one of them. But listen, I don't know if I'm worried if we're not going to get the best one, because none of us know who is the best one out of that. So it's like De Zerbi as an example. Yeah. We're all linked with him. We actually don't know how good or bad De Zerbi is going to be for a top 16. We can get him and he can absolutely stink it, or he can go to another team and he can look brilliant and we're going to be like, wow, I can't believe we didn't once believe in De Zerbi. So I think it's too early for us to judge on it, because it's a new generation of managers, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's not one clear manager. I mean, you look like there was Pep and Klopp, weren't they? Those were clearly outstanding candidates coming into football during that time. You're looking now, you've got Amarin at Sport, and you could maybe add Thomas Frank at Brentford. You go Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen. You know, Tuchel's. I mean, there is no clear candidate there, is there? You know, there's no one who's outright going to be outstanding. The one thing I would say, I wouldn't want a failed manager. I wouldn't want someone like a Tuchel. And I know people are saying, about what he did at Chelsea. But you look at what he did at Chelsea. I mean, Man City gave up them games with Pep Guardiola's stupid tactical decisions in 2 of those games. You know what I mean? So you look at that, you know, and a lot of that you can put on the opposing manager and De Bruyne being injured. You know, what was it? Getting that head injury 40 minutes into the game. So Tuchel got lucky at that. You look at the league form. The league form just wasn't there. His tactical acumen, you know, his ability on the football field, what he gets his players to do, it's just awful football. The majority of Chelsea fans were sick of him. Do you know what I mean? And that was sick of him after 12 months. So he's not someone where we're looking at. We want to bring him into Manchester United to see that kind of football. But for me, if I'm looking at a manager out there, I'm looking at De Zerbi. De Zerbi's one of those players that's created a game theory. He created his style of football. It's worked at an elite level. Do you know what I mean? And Pep Guardiola said something about him, which was something about him being the most influential manager over the last 20 years. You know, even he's taking things from him. And I want to see that kind of manager coming through and coming up and giving him a bit of a chance. So, I mean, I'm glad Alonso's being linked with Liverpool. I'm glad that you know, we're looking, and Omar Barada's spoken about De Zerbi in the past as well, and he's been apparently linked with going to Man City after the Pep Guardiola. So he's someone that I'd be hopeful and excited to see how he got on here. But just anyone, as long as we're not seeing Ten Hag next season in the dugout, do you know what I mean? Because that guy's he's gone, he's finished.
Yeah, he's out of his depth, Ash, man. He's definitely out of his depth. And to add on to that, I just feel like, I don't think we're gonna know who these guys are going for. It looks like the way they're moving, they're calculating their moves right now. So I'm just hoping that, yes, as a club of the stature of Manchester United, we're always going to be linked to many managers and whatnot. A lot of people are going to be trying to put feelers out there and make assumptions and whatnot. So I just see Omar Barada, hopefully, and just the structure that's going to be built around him to just do the professional moves and know who they want. And I'm going to be interested to see in the future, in the next few weeks, the next few months, as we get to summertime, how we start getting linked to things when we have the structure in place, if we're still going to get all of these leaks and stuff. Because we're still hearing leaks about Omar and stuff, that he does things like this, and Ineos are going to start doing things like this and whatever. So unless they're putting it out there themselves, but it's going to be an interesting few months, so to say the least, man.
But this comment here, he said you all lax a lyrical about Ten Hag like this 2 years ago. The problem is,
we were.
You know, De Zerbi's going to come in and actually implement his philosophy, though. Because I look at De Zerbi, like, I feel like with him, you can tell it's just like it's ordained within him. Like, it's like, you know what, like, this is who I am. I think with Ten Hag, you could tell, he was.
About Saeed, Ten Hag might have been right, you know. Errors, the Liverpool errors coming to an end. You know, he might have been right.
Listen, his era is coming to an end, man. You know, I get that. His era is also coming to an end, mate. So, but I hear what you mean, though. I hear what you mean. It makes sense now for him and whatnot. But when I look at it, and I look at the new board and I look at what's going on right now, I mean, Adam, is it one of them where we have to be careful as to who we pick next? Because, you know, like I said, bro, we need to close a gap now. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it one of them where the next one has to be correct? Or do we still kind of do the ones where till we get to like 2 or 3 years, we won't get that kind of manage that we all want and crave and whatnot?
I don't know. It's a good question because the players are not good enough. We still have leaks. We have a poor squad. We have so many things that need to go right in order for us to move forward. That it's really a question of where do you start? And I think we need to start by making a statement, something like, I don't know, we need to get discipline in the team. I don't think we have that. I think it's a bit of a free-for-all. Players are doing whatever they want. The players are not good enough. I think there are politics involved that are not good for the club. Players, I don't think Ten Hag, as bad as he's been, as he is at the moment, I think some decisions are forced on him. And I've said that many months ago. I think the brother sold his soul. Because that's not how he's supposed. You cannot be Dutch and play like this. You cannot be Dutch and pick some of those players. It makes zero sense to me. So is it the manager only? It's a big part of it. Players, I think we need to sell them all. Honestly, it's just this is where, and this is why the structure argument is very, very solid. We need people that know how to build from the ground up, because I don't, and we don't have the experience to do so. So we need people who know how. This is why I was so happy with Ragnick. I know that he can start from nothing and get to something. And now we need someone else to do it. And now Barada is coming in. Let's just hope they pick the right people, because the manager thing at the moment, I don't know if a manager is going to make a difference if the manager can't actually coach and pick the players he wants to pick. Makes zero sense to me.
There's a comment here. Big up to Simon Post. As an Arsenal fan, I hope you get De Zerbi. You have 6-8 players max to play a system. It'll take 2 years to get the players enough in him. When you look at our team, is it ready for like a top technical coach to come in? When you look at our team, we don't really have technical ballers, man. We have
I think we have more technical ballers. I think we have more technical ballers suited to playing with the ball than the opposite. I think Bruno and Rashford are the only ones built for how we are playing counter-attacking erratic football.
But they're one of the two most important. It's almost if you gotta fit them in. You know, a manager right now, unless he's a strong manager, he's always gonna put them in. So then it's like one of them where this is what I keep saying. Bruno Fernandes and Rashford have to go. If you want to make this happen, guys, they have to go. But that's what I'm saying. Manager's gonna look at thinking, nah, they're the two favorites. I can't really play my football with them two.
So it becomes a thing. It becomes a thing of those two players over the team, because Dalot, I think we need an improvement for right back, but Dalot can play with the ball. Varane has done it, and look, we need another centre back, but Varane can play with the ball. Martinez can. Luke Shaw is good on the ball. Donny van de Beek is good on the ball. We had Amrabat can play with the ball, short passes, quick movement. Ahmad can play with the ball. Sancho, Martial, Højlund can be a good striker. Anthony, he's not good enough, but he's been able to play in a team that keeps the ball. We have many players that can actually have the ball and pass it, and we have not so many that just do whatever they want. And we know who those players are. Look,
the issue is the ones that you're talking about, like Said said, they're the heart of the team.
Exactly.
That's the main issue.
That's the problem.
When your spine is built on these, and I know wingers is not part of a spine, but when your winger is your top highest earning player, and everything goes down his side like Rashford, and he has more stinkers than he has good games. When you have someone like Bruno running the midfield, let's be honest, unfortunately, everything goes through Bruno. These are two major issues that we've been talking about for years. And nothing is really going to change until you go to the root of this team and actually change it. And a lot of managers have done that. When you look at Arteta as an example, even though he still hasn't won anything, but when you look at it, when he wanted to change the root of the team, who did he go after? He went for Ozil, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. These were the main guys on that team, and obviously a lot of older guys in that team. That's the only time he was able to change the way that team really played, because you can't go for the cosmetics. That's the part. If you want to prove a performance of a car, what do? People put a new engine or they put a new transmission. They don't just change the tires. They don't just change the fenders and all that stuff. No, they go and change the core of that team. That's been our core of our team for the past 4 or 5 years. And listen, as much as we think we have good footballers that play around them, like Licha and them, eventually they end up accommodating to the way that they play, because the tempo of the game is usually controlled by who? Bruno. Bruno gets the ball and he decides today we're just going to launch the ball forward and that's it. You know, Rashford, when Rashford just runs in behind or whatever, he controls the tempo of that game as well. Obviously, they're not the only two. I don't want to fully blame them. But for you to change that whole mentality and the whole structure, you need to go to the core. You need to go to the best players, quote unquote best players. That's the only way everything is going to change.
Yeah, because you know what, Staffy? There are good players that don't improve teams, and there are players that are fine, average, that make the team better. And we need to start looking at the team. Because look, for example, players like Coutinho when he was at Liverpool and then Bayern Munich and Barcelona. I think he's a brilliant footballer. But usually the teams, when he leaves, they tend to win. Maybe he does have not that good of a great effect on the team, even though I think Philippe Coutinho is a great footballer. And you could say the same thing for many players. Some players just don't improve the player around them. Because at the end of the day, football is 11 players, but the sum is bigger than the whole. The whole is bigger than the sum of its parts, what I'm trying to say. So when you have a team, you have more than 11 components. You have something that emerges from that. And at the moment, we have 11 players, and it looks like we are having 7, 8. We are not looking like a team.
You know, that's the key thing for me. Yeah. And by the way, there's over 700 in the chat. Make sure you lot are liking the video, please. Smash the like button, people.
Get them likes.
This is the issue though in it, and this is where the discussion comes in. Is that as we need to be a team. We need to be a football team. When I look at Brighton, yeah, they don't have many stars, but they're a team. You know what I'm saying to you? And that is something that I feel like now football has to become like, when you look at even yesterday, Oscar Bob, when you look at his overall game, I know he comes from the school of Pep Guardiola and whatnot, but when you look at his actual overall game, it's for me, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You look at Garnacho's game and you're looking at his game, I'm like, Oscar Bob's a bit more polished. I know they're two different completely players, but I'm saying like the way we're playing right now, it's so like the counter-attacking style of transition. It's like I want to see more technical players in the team that, you know what, by any system we create, they're going to keep the ball. We're going to play better as a team. And that's what for me, want United to do next with the next manager. I don't mind if the players are not getting the highest GA possible, but if they're scoring goals and they're still making an impact on the team and they're still playing well as a team, I think that's crazy, man. I think that's better for the team as a whole.
Exactly. You know what, look at the City team. Sorry, Rena. Look at the City team. Bar last season when Haaland won the golden boot. When's the last time a City player won the golden boot? It was always Salah, Kane, Salah, Kane, Salah, Kane.
It was Aguero.
Aguero about a long time ago, and it was really before. That was during his prime, and that was kind of a little bit before Kane and Salah just going back to back at it for like 4 or 5 years in the Premier League, and that just proves what Said just said. The thing is, it's not about GA all the time. When we look at Garnacho, is Garnacho, let's be very honest, is Garnacho a better player than Oscar Bob? I don't think so. I actually don't think so. But here's the thing about Garnacho.
Yeah.
Garnacho's an academy product. He scored an overhead kick, and everyone loves an academy product, so we hype him up. But is he fundamentally better than Oscar Bob? He's probably not. Cole Palmer, before he went to Chelsea, would anyone have told you based on last season he was better than Garnacho? No, we would have rated Garnacho over him as well because he came on last season and scored a couple goals and all that, and he was being an impact sub. But when you really look at all these players that come through the City Academy as an example, and I'm just using City as an example right now, there's so many teams to compare him to. When you look at them, they don't need players to have the max GA for them to be good. These players end up going to other teams, they end up looking good, and people are like, wow, where's this player from? And you find out he was from a City Academy. Lavia, as an example, went to Southampton. I don't know how good was he. And people love to use age, by the way. Listen, I hate this age argument because I sit here and I rate Kobe Mino very high and no one mentions his age. When Greenwood was banging goals left and right and he was 16, 17, no one said he was young. So stop using the argument that he's young only because I'm saying he's not good enough. Because I don't need you to be at a certain age to see if you have it or not. And that's the thing, Saeed. We need more players like that. I don't want all these glorified players that we justify they're good or not because they scored an overhead kick or they had this amount of assists or this amount of goals. Exactly. We've been using that metric for so long, and have we been winning anything?
Because look, we have apparently Bruno and Rashford are the two best attacking players in the league, but we are bottom 3 in all attacking stats.
Oh, so the number 1 creator in the league. They told me that.
Exactly.
So where's that?
Well, the thing, I agree with you, Steph. We need more players that do nothing, get the ball and pass it. Because at the end, you need to reduce. They
don't like that, though. They don't like that, though, man. That's the problem. United fans don't like that, man. We don't like that as fan base.
Nothing does my head in as much as United fans praising players like Rodri. Because if we had Rodri, they want him benched. Because what does he do apart from sideways and backward passes? And we had players like Matic, and we had players like Mata that get the ball. And you cannot start creating just like that. It doesn't happen. You need to start creating an environment in which creativity can then happen. But for creativity to happen, it needs to happen in a controlled environment. You cannot creativity in chaos. It's just more chaos. You need to contrast it to something. And this is the problem we have. The players, fundamentals and the basics are not good. The passes are not on the floor. They don't control it all the time. So that means when they get something good, I have to attribute that to randomness and luck. Because the basis to get there is non-existent. Non-existent. You can do a 40-yard pass or a killer pass, but then if you can't do consistently good passes, that just means to me that pass was luck, because the fundamentals are not there. You cannot recreate that all the time. It just if it's below 50%, you have to give it to randomness. It's just luck, pure luck.
You know, the last team we had, when you look at in terms of a team, was probably Van Gaal. Ash, when you look at the last team we've had in terms of being a team, we didn't. This is the issue though. But in the Van Gaal team, yeah, we didn't have the final third guy who would be getting all the GA. We didn't really have that, but we were a team. We were connecting the dots, pass, move, pass, move. Do you get it? Like we were doing all of that.
Yeah.
It's just that we didn't have the final dot. And I think everybody was happy. Was like, yo, we got an identity at least. Like we got a decent identity. That there, yeah. Do you reckon we'll ever see that like with the current team we have, or have we got to dismantle this team bit by bit in that aspect to recreate that?
Listen, I don't think these players are as bad as they're showing. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them aren't good enough, but you look at Bruno and you look at Garnacho, those two in particular, I believe under better managers, under someone like a Pep or a Klopp, I think you'd get more out of them. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying they've got to be starting every game. That's why we bring in players like Mason Mount and stuff. And there's players out there, you look at Xavi Simons, absolute baller. Do you know what I mean? And Musiala and all that you could bring into the, I know Bayern probably don't let him go, but those kind of ballers there, that they've got the quality, but they've had better coaching, they've had better coaches. And you look at Ten Hag and you look over the last 2 years he's been here, 18 months, whatever, what players improved? Don't think he's improved a single player in this team. So in regard to will we ever play like that? I'm hopeful, because you look at the Zerbi, and one thing that you need from a manager is buy-in. Do the players buy into your philosophy? Do they buy into the way you play? And you listen to the Zerbi, and his three kind of mantras are keep the ball, enjoy the ball, and be protagonists on the ball. Just players buy into that stuff. The idea of passion, ambition, a dream that he talks about, something for players to buy in. You listen to Ten Hag. Ten Hag talks about good isn't good enough. I'm not in anything else. That's all I ever hear from him. Good isn't good enough. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately for Ten Hag, we were all excited about him. You look at what he did at Ajax. You look at what he did at Go Red Eagles and the rest of them and that. And it looked exciting, but at the end of the day, he's not been able to do it at the highest level. And he's proven now that he's incapable of getting players to buy into his philosophy, if he's even got a philosophy that we've not really been able to see on the football field, because we've heard, 3 months ago, him talking about, I can't play the Ajax style. I'll never be able to play that style here. Essentially admitting that I haven't got my own style. I was playing their style. Do you know what I mean? So it's worrying. Whereas De Zerbi's a guy, you look at him, and again, I say he's designed his own philosophy, he's designed his own game theory, and he's practiced it at the elite level, and it's coming across at the elite level. So he's someone that, will he get these players playing a little bit better? Does he need super talented players? You're not seeing that there at Brighton. He doesn't need exceptionally talented players, but he gets them playing and he gets them working and he gets them buying in. So I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that I'm not too sure on Rashford. I think the time right now is to cash in. Rashford relies on pace. That's only going to dwindle over the next 2-3 years. So if you're looking to cash him in, I'm cashing him in now. A smart club would do that. Bruno, I still think that there's a player in there, especially if he's coached well enough. But I'm hopeful, because you see Ahmad, you see Sancho, you see Mason Mount, the midfield of Mano. You got Leach at the back. Delo's decent on the ball. Not the best defensively, but yeah, I don't think it's as bad as what we've been shown under Ten Hag. I think he's fooled us into believing these players are a lot worse than they are, because they're not being coached well. None of them have been improved. The tactics aren't there. And right now, we just need someone in to kind of lift the squad, pick up these players and show them the way forward, give them something to buy into, something to believe in.
There's a comment here, big up to Diego, says, what Van Gaal was doing was implement a philosophy that was mirrored from the first team down to the youth. Is exactly what City has done, and why they can bring up guys like Foden and Oscar Bob. I remember under Van Gaal, we won the title back to back, didn't we? The under 21s, was it, or the under 18s? I'm not quite sure which one we won, but we won it back to back in the seasons that he was there, and he ended up bringing half of them through to the first team. So that there is so spot on in terms of mirroring how they play and whatnot. And obviously, right now we haven't seen that, for United and whatnot. But I think ultimately it comes down to picking the right manager who's got a philosophy and is going to stick to it, and then assessing the players, assessing how they work, how they function, and then going from there, man. Because like I said, Omar Barada might go to City guys, and maybe the Girona manager, he may go somewhere else. So let's see what he does, man. It's going to be a big couple of months, man, because we've got to get working The time is no Liverpool manager's gone. Going the end of the season, it's going to be a manager merry-go-round. We've got to be quick, man, because if we don't make that decision, it's picked. And man like Andre Onana's been benched again, by the way. He's been benched again. Oh, my days. Right, he's been replaced by his cousin. So Onana's not even in the team. Flipping hell, man. That's crazy. Man's getting dropped by Cameroon, It's peak out here. But
Yeah,
he's Man United's
that's a
manager,
proper manager.
Man United's keeper. That's crazy, man.
He disrespected them.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
You know what I mean? Crazy, man. Let's speak on Hannibal Majebri. I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on with Hannibal Majebri, but flipping hell, man, it is crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen it, yeah.
No,
But shout out to Stretford Trenton. Hannibal
been
Majebri
dropped
not
basically,
being
innit?
involved.
Apparently.
Yeah. In Sevilla's game against Osasuna tomorrow, after missing their last game too, he's fully fit, but won't be playing according to the manager. Here's a full statement. After being linked with him, talking to him, I've seen his first minutes in Girona. We are going to give him necessary space to understand where he is, that he is at Sevilla, what it means. He has to know where he is. I want to see him. We haven't spoken to him, but we believe that he is going to have something to learn. We want to give him space, time for him to learn things from outside, and he'll return to the squad. In the end, there are kids who have come in and suddenly landed in a huge club like Sevilla, circumstances of maximum demand, and they need a bit of location. That location may seem better. But yeah, he's been dropped, man. Apparently, he had a little bit of a situation with Mariano, but I don't know if that's fully true. But
do you know what it is?
Yeah,
for me,
man.
yeah,
Crazy.
Saeed, yeah. I don't think he's ever been that good. To be honest, respectfully, I just feel like he's just someone that does what you need him to do. He's a bit like a lower. He's like a dumbed down Fred. And I think even Fred slightly has a bit more technical ability. You know what I mean? I know Hannibal scored that goal, which was a good strike as well. But you see that from Fred here and there. Strike. Fred can strike the ball. Fred can take free kicks here and there. So I just see him as a kind of B-Tech Fred. And it's interesting to see that straight away they've realized, you know what, maybe he's not the player for us and player for them as well. But yeah, I've just never really rated Hannibal. I can understand there's been times where fans want him to play because we feel like he's got the heart and he puts in a shift. And he's somebody that you just give him the right instructions. When we played City, was it City at home, and we had Fred marking De Bruyne, like throughout the whole game. And the 1 minute, the moment he lost De Bruyne, they scored. That's the type of player Hannibal is. You just set him to one instruction when maybe you need to change a few elements in the game, in a pragmatic game, and that's it. I don't think he's somebody that you keep as a main kind of someone said B-Tech Fred sounds stinky as hell. That's what he is, man.
Yo, you know what's mad, man? It's that these loans, man. Like I actually was thinking to myself, why did he go to Spain, man? He should have went to you know what I mean? He should have went to France, me personally, man. Bit more kind of rough, bit more kind of like, you know what I mean?
Like, went to Everton
football. Oh,
Everton
yeah,
wanted him.
went to Everton. Yeah, Everton.
No room in the midfield there, though, is there? Gone, he's not getting in.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter though.
Midfield.
Premier League minutes would have been the best thing for him. And I was talking to Griggs earlier. Shout out Griggs. And I mentioned to him Makeda years ago. Not that he was. I think Makeda was much more talented than him. But Makeda, his fallout started when he went to Sampdoria on loan instead of the Championship. And he told that story years after. I think he was with Rio Ferdinand when he told that story. Sir Alex wanted him to go on loan to the Championship so he can get used to the physicality of playing in England. And he went to Sampdoria instead because he was a Sampdorian kid, so he wanted to go back to Italy.
Yeah.
And that loan was the reason he came back and couldn't do anything because he got lazy over there. I think they got relegated, so that he got a lot of hate for it, and it absolutely ruined his career. That's the same thing Hannibal did. Hannibal just went because, let's be honest, Tunisians and Moroccans and Algerians, they love going to Spain. I mean, Adam will tell you, they're right there from Spain anyways. They go because of the weather. A lot of them speak Spanish already, but it's not the good move. It's not the best move for his career. Everton wanted to hijack, if you guys remember, and he still went to Sevilla. Now he's going to sit there, not play any football, and they're not going to buy him for 20 million at the end of the loan like we thought they might. And it's a completely wasted loan now. So we're already we're still in January, and we're already looking at one of the loans as being a bust. So it's like, what do we even do now? Because the guy's not even going to play for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what it is, with these loans, by the way, are we going to even get our money with certain situations? Like Donny van der Beek, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but he came off after 45 minutes against Frankfurt. Obviously, he's still relatively certain time, but these players these cast-offs here, Pelestri, I mean, are we really going to get rid of these players? Because I don't know, man. I can't lie to you. I don't know what's going to go on with these loans here, but we've got a lot of deadwood that we got to get rid of, man. I mean, a lot, man. A lot of deadwood that we got to get rid of. So
man.
It's going to be mad, when you deep it. I mean, Ryan, what are you saying, man? Like, in terms of
I doubt it,
I don't know, man.
I doubt it. Do you know what it is for me? Like, it's funny because I'm happy that we can loan out these players and you can see what they really are. I remember there was a portion of time where the fans were calling out for Donny van der Beek. Oh, we need technicality. I just saw him when he went to Everton. I saw he wasn't it. Fair enough, he's still a good player, but maybe the Premier League's not for him. Sometimes we can say that. He might go to the right team and flourish, but Donny van der Beek, he showed glimpses. I would admit that he didn't have a fair run. I can understand that as well. But then again, you can go back to the argument of people that just come into the team and do their thing straight away, like Kobe Mainoo and stuff like that. So it's hard, man. But yeah, these players are not really good enough. And the big up Flawless, I remember I was on a show with him months ago, and he was like, a portion of the fan base tend to hype up these academy players and hype up these young players, and they're not really that good. Even someone like what's that guy's name again? He also went to Everton. He's actually better than
Garner.
He's actually
James Garner.
Garner, yeah. Garner's decent as well. Maybe the Garner's a bit better than the average players that we've loaned off. But at the same time, I just feel like he still wasn't good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, these players are not good enough, man. These players are not good enough, man, for United. And you can't blame the system, you can't blame the profiles and all of that stuff. But realistically, what we need now is players of the Kobe Mainoo profile where they just come in and they're good straight away. We don't need the players that need 2 years, 3 years, and whatever. Then again, you might say, okay, then why does Rhino defend Højlund? But I just think Højlund's been played completely incorrectly. And I think some players do fall victim of that, where they're just been put in a situation where it just kills the way they play. So there is a balance there. You have to find a balance between it. But yeah, these players are not good enough, man. They're not good enough, man. In my opinion.
Yeah. People are saying Garnacho's overrated. A lot of players are maybe overrated. It's easy to get into the Man United team now, though. When we're this shit right now, maybe we look to kind of bring them in and maybe say to them, you know what, too much too soon. Maybe that's the situation that we do in terms of managerial and whatnot. So we've got to be careful, man. Expectations are big, man. It's like up front now, we've got a lot of players up front. We've got a lot of players in midfield. There's a lot that we could do. So we have to trim the squad down, man. Let's be honest. We've got to be ruthless, man. You get me? Like, all these players that we overrate and whatnot, we've got to get them out, man.
Yeah, we already loaned out 9 players, side. So we are
sorry.
We already loaned out 9 players this January.
Oh yeah, Pelestri's gone out on loan. Pelestri, where is he? Is he done now? His deal? Is he gone now to Granada? Is he gone or?
Sure.
No, it's not completed yet, but it's looking like it's close.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Big up to Freddie says they're not good enough, but we have been terrible, guys. Do we need to spend 50 million on Nana, or we need to do is give David Hill 1 more year loan wages, waste some money? We spent a lot of money, man. Spent a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. Ten Hag spent a lot of money on his players, and half of them not even in the team. Like, we got no signings in January now. That's it now. No signings. That's it now. This season is going to be what it is now. So strap in, guys. This is what it's going to be. Strap in, people, because there's no signings anymore. FFP. He said, we're not signing anyone. I know we link with Bramthwaite and whatnot, but are you, man, is this what it is now for the rest of the season? You guys happy with it? Is it one of them where we're not getting top 4 anyway? What are you guys thinking in terms of the fact that we haven't bought a striker?
Sink the ship.
Sink the ship. Yeah, is it one of them?
Yeah, sink it.
Sink the ship,
man.
Yeah. Say no more.
Let these people come in and see what the club really is, man. Sink it, man. And start again.
You know what as well? You don't finish top 4. What happens to the contracts? They lose payments from the contracts. Do you know what I mean? So that's they might be looking at that. If we are looking to move on a lot of these players, we can move them on a lot easier on lesser contracts. Do you know what I mean? So if we get to the summer, same with Ten Hag. If he doesn't make top 4, I'm sure that's in his contract, like we've seen with Moyes and other managers in the past. That if he's not making top 4, and then Barada comes in and is able to make a few much better manoeuvres. Now, for me personally, I'm looking at these players and I'm thinking we need to start loaning them again to the Championship, because the Championship have shown and proven to us that they're willing to pay for these players. Do you know what I mean? They paid for the likes. I mean, don't get me wrong, Leeds were in the Premier League at the time, but they played for the likes of Chong. They paid for the likes of Dan James and that. And Hannibal at to Birmingham. They wanted to buy him. What was it? Something about 7.5 million, I think they bid for him, and we turned that down.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're doing, we should have snapped their hands off there, putting a buyback clause and all that. And if he comes good in the future, then okay, we bring him back. But this idea of trying to push these players into the team and giving them big wages, these kids just aren't good enough. That's it. And they believe they're better than they actually are. And that's been a problem at Manchester United over the last couple of years.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, Adam.
No, I'm sorry. I'm the one who cuts you off, but I agree. We need to assess the players correctly, and the players need to assess themselves correctly as well. Like, it's a whole nother level of delusion and lunacy. It's ridiculous. Like, for example, Rashford. I don't want to go back on him, but I think Rashford could be a good player if he knew his game better. He's a very good athlete. He's a good physical specimen, to be honest. He's strong, he's quick, he has space. So he needs to play on his strength. And Bruno should play on his strength. And Luke Shaw should play on his... And everybody should... And the manager should know the strength of the players. He needs to assess them correctly. Because if you tell me Rashford stays in the team, but this is what he has to do, and he's on the bench, or he's starting in certain games because of certain tactical setups, I'm like, fine. I'm all in with that. I won't criticize Rashford nowhere near as much, but I have a problem with him being the number 10 and the face of the club and the superstar. I have a problem with that. But if Rashford is part of the team, he knows what he is, and he is at Manchester United. No one's a superstar at Man United, because we're supposed to have all superstars, and everyone should act like they are not superstars. They need to be humble, and while being at the top level. This is what we build our legacy on. Players of the highest level being humble, knowing what it means. Because that's the thing. These players have never won, so they don't know how hard it is to win. So they don't have a clue. Players of the past, they know how difficult it is to go through a winning season. So they know that when it's October, November, and the season is still, they are working hard now because they know how hard it's going to be. They know what it takes to win. And the players we have, they haven't got a clue about how a good team wins. They haven't got a clue about their strength. They don't know. Rashford is not a good dribbler. He tries to dribble. Give yourself a chance. Help yourself. Bruno, get the ball and move it. Get the ball and move it. Casemiro, for example, he knows what his weaknesses are. He knows what his strengths are. So that's why you get the best version of Casemiro when he's next to someone that plays with the ball. Because Casemiro, I think on the ball, he's not that good. I don't think he's the answer for us. But his IQ, his positioning, and the way he reads
reading of the game,
top draw. And he knows that. Varane, same thing. Like people criticize Varane, but I've noticed that when Varane plays, the players around him improve. That means he does something that you cannot see and put and clip in a highlight that makes everyone better. And when Luke Shaw started having games at centre-back, he said it's so much easier to play centre-back for the first time when you have someone like Varane next to you, because he talks during games. He speaks to his players, to his teammate. And we need more players like that think of the team, don't think of themselves. Because I think we have players that would be happy losing a game 4-3 if they score 2. And this is not good.
Selfish players, you're spot on. Selfish players, man. You know what I mean? That's what we've had for so many years, man. It is what it is, man. Guys, keep liking the video, people. Let's get up to at least 300 likes. We're not even on 300 likes yet. Nearly 800 of you in the building. So come on, let's get them likes up. There's some news coming about Olise. Apparently, Michael Olise prefers a move to Man United over Chelsea. This player is a lifelong United fan and is aware of interest from both clubs. What are you not saying about Olise? Good player, but injury record is not great, if I'm going to lie to you. Is he one of them where everybody's looking at and thinking, yo, he's the guy? For me, he's one of the most talented wingers in the Premier League, 100%, no doubt. But that injury record, I can't lie to you, it's a big one, man. Hamstring, he's out for a month. He was out for a year with an injury as well. Very, very talented, though, but it comes with the risk of him having a couple of big injuries, man. I mean, I think he's out for a month or something, 6 weeks with a hamstring.
Do you think he's better than Ahmad?
That's what I was about to say, bro. I said this last time, Saeed. Saeed, we have Olise at home. I said that to you last week.
Yeah.
You have Olise at home.
I'd put Ahmad in midfield, honestly.
There's Rice at home.
Ahmad can play the 10 role.
I said that to him last week, bro. Whenever we used to go home, my mom would drive me home from school. Like, Mom, I want McDonald's. She's like, no, we have food at home. You don't need to buy more because we have food at home. Why are we going to buy Olise when we have Olise at home? We have one who's left-footed that we're not really playing yet. And yes, I hear you, Adam. He could play in the midfield, but that doesn't change the fact that we don't need to sign one right now.
Yeah.
And we have Sancho, who we just loaned out because of his issues. He's a left-footed Sancho with less end product in the final third. Sancho's much better in the final third than him. Don't get me wrong. I actually like Olise, but once again, why are we getting something that we don't need? We just sat here talking about what? What did we talk about all show? We talked about Bruno. We talked about Rashford. We mentioned the goalkeeper. We could easily talk about the back line and the midfield. None of us sat here, and the main concern was the right wing, because we have so much garbage there that we need to fix. We need to get rid of Anthony. We need to figure out Ahmad. We need to figure out Sancho. Now Garnacho's getting minutes there. It's the last position that we need to talk about. Olise is going to cost us what side? Like 70 million? So we're going to go buy another talented player. Okay, I get it. He's a fan and all that. Listen, we're all fans of Man United here, but we all know that we're shit. So we could tell him that for free. Let's be honest here. We're all fans of the club. But him being a fan doesn't change the fact that he's injury prone and he's going to cost us about 60, 70, maybe 80 million. Is that really what we need to address at the moment? That's, to me, that's what we did with Mount. We went and bought a midfielder for 60 million when we didn't need to address that issue right now. We needed to address other issues. So once again, we're going to go add another good player to a pile of garbage that we have. We shouldn't be doing that, bro.
Exactly. Another thing as well, who wants Olise from the source? Is it the club? Is it the man? If it's Ten Hag, nah, no way. If it's the club, then who at the club? Because the team is not there yet. Like it's not fully formed, like the setup. So who wants Olise? Or is it just the agent and like some rumors and whatever? Because don't give Ten Hag another penny.
I don't think Ten Hag is allowed to spend that way anymore. Because, excuse me.
Yep.
The news that came out yesterday that he wanted what's that guy from Ajax again? Brobby in Braithwaite from Everton.
Brobby
from Everton. And he didn't get approved for it. They said no because he doesn't have full say anymore. And that, to me, that was the best bit of news. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hear
we can't have him. Yeah, we can't have him. The one thing that I felt bad about is that now they said no for Braithwaite because now they're gonna say anything Ten Hag wants is probably shit. I feel bad because the kid is actually good. Like that's one of the few ones that I actually agree with. You know, so I hope we still look into him next year because I do think he's a good player. And Griggs has spoken about him a lot on your channel. But the best bit of news that he doesn't get the priority anymore. And I think once the DOF is in the summer, we're gonna be recruiting absolutely different. Because I don't even know if Ten Hag has a future here. So they're definitely. I don't think to answer you, Adam. I don't think they're going after what he wants anymore.
Yeah. Plus the attack here. I think we need a striker. Definitely we need a striker. But the wingers, I don't think the wingers are my priority kind of like area. For me, midfield is a priority, man. I think that's that area there. Midfield, man. Mount is for me not good enough. I would sell him on if we could. You know what I mean? If we get the right money for Mason Mount, I would move him on. But I think the midfield is where it needs to be addressed to most guys. Midfield. Casemiro could possibly leave. Then you got Milo. Eriksen for me. I'd release him as well. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'd release Eriksen. I'd release him of his duties. I'm sorry, you know, I love the guy, but I think for me, you know, the league in terms of the intensity, it's too much for him. If everybody disagrees, cool. I'd go get a midfielder that can play there. Amrabat, it depends on what he's worth, but would you want to keep him? I don't know. It's up to you guys on that one, but trust me, guys, we need midfielders, man. Midfielders. Maybe a centre back, and then there you go from there.
This is the problem with Ten Hag. He spent, how much money did he spend? And I think we are weak.
400 million.
400 million. And I think we are weak in every single area of the
400 million.
I think midfield is weak, not good enough. I think wingers is actually a priority because Rashford is not really a winger because you want him to score goals. You don't want him to play wide. And Højlund is a striker that you need to feed. So who's going to feed him?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not criticizing.
I don't know, you know, Adam.
I'm not criticizing. Yeah, go ahead.
You look at the wide players. We've got lots of players that can play wide. I mean, don't get me wrong, Rashford's not the answer, I know, but he can play wide. We've got Mount, we've got Bruno, we've got Garnacho, we've got Ahmad Traore, we've got Ahmad, we've got Sancho. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but we've got wide players. We've got options there. Like Saeed saying, we desperately need a striker midfield because Eriksen's not good enough. His legs have gone. Do you know what I mean? He's, you know, you can see he's done after 45 minutes. I don't know if you saw all the memes with Jurgen Klopp and, you know, not being able able to do it anymore. As I say, saying that that's Eriksen after 45 minutes. But yeah, we desperately need a centre back. I mean, we potentially need 2 centre backs, you know, for Evans and Varane. So these much more important positions right now than the wide positions. The wide positions, we have got players who can cover there and fit in there. We just need being able to control the ball. The thing that I worry about is, again, this idea that which I've spoken about a few times on the show was that will the manager come in the summer and then want to look at these players and want to give some of these players 6 months to kind of see if they're going to be good enough for him, you know, rather than just cutting and getting rid now? Because we don't know. Some of these players might turn around. I hate saying this because I know the majority of them aren't good enough and will never be good enough. But sometimes managers come in and they surprise you and they get more out of certain players.
And
so
sorry, excuse me.
Yeah. So you don't know really, and it's one of those where I'm looking at Brad and I'm thinking he's going to bring in that Man City list. That's what I'm hopeful for. I don't want to be. Do you know what I mean? The Man City, because you saw him on those videos with cheeky Bagheera Stein, you know, looking through the list of all the players that are on free agents and all that. He's got that USB drive. Do you know what I mean? So he's going to be bringing that USB drive over to us. So I'm hopeful in that regard. But with these Premier League players that are going to be costing us 70, 80 million, like Olise and that, you can go to the Spanish league, get someone like Kubo. Kubo's been beast. Do you know what I mean? For Sociedad, he's got a release clause of what? 40 million. Do you know what I mean? Take a risk on him. I'd rather go for 2 40 million players of the level of a Kubo than going for one Olise who's going to, you know, potentially end up being injured for us, like we've seen Mason Mount and others.
Hey, listen, that Kubo signing, if hypothetically, if you would make it, that would open the Asian market to us, and you know the Glazers love that shit. Imagine because everyone is going for the not South American, what's it called, South Korean players. Now it's been a trend.
We don't really have a market that we go to, man.
But that's the thing, say that's one thing that opens the Asian market for us. So it makes sense financially in footballing sense. So I'm with Ashley.
You know what? Going back to what you said, Ash, on the manager giving the players a chance, I think that's a good point because we know the players are not good enough, and we know some could surprise us, of course. But as a manager, you come in a new environment. You cannot come in with like preconceptions. You have to be fair. We know he shouldn't be fair, but it is his duty to be fair to the players. He cannot come with an idea of the player because that's one way to get a toxic dressing room from the word go. So he has to come in and give a chance each to the players because he can't be unfair. That's a problem because as fans, we are going to be very annoyed at him picking the players we know are going to fail him. But he needs to get there by himself. He needs to get there quick. And going back to the wingers, I hear we have players who could cover, but we don't have real wingers. We have players who can cover, and the players we have are not good enough. I'm thinking of the team. Like Rashford can play on the wing, and Garnacho can play on the wing, but for the team, can we score goals with those players? Because we have a striker that needs to be fed, and we have wingers that are not putting the ball in. And how does it work? I think we need to sell. I hear the point that it's not priority number one because the midfield needs improvement and the defense needs improvement. But we need wingers that actually play on the wing because there are players that the profile is a problem. Like, for example, Mbappe, Rashford, those players. Not a question of talent. It's a question of where does he fit. Like, if you give me the choice between Mbappe and Haaland, I pick Haaland every time. Not because he's better, because he's a number 9. And that's the end of the conversation. But Mbappe is a bit more tricky. Does he play with the front two? Does he play on the wing? It's a bit more complicated. And Rashford is the same thing. Does he play on the left? Is in the front? This is more my problem. What if I'd much rather remove one player than remove 6 to make that player fit? And overall, that's the thing we have that I think is problematic.
Yeah, I agree with Adam, you know, because I feel like I feel like with Garnacho, for example, he's somebody that you use in certain situations. He shouldn't be someone you rely on, you know. Okay, you know what, they're playing the high line. Let's put Garnacho on and see if we can utilize that and stuff like that. So, yeah, the profiles is definitely important. And that goes with my point with Højlund as well. We shouldn't rely on him, but he should be used in certain situations. And then when he gets up to the level, you know, then we can, you know, probably rely on him at some point. But we need the right profiles, man. Yeah. What happened?
Sorry to cut you off. Villarreal have won.
Last in the 99th minute. Yeah.
Is it?
I'll be out.
Oh, shit.
Xavi's
going, man. He's getting sacked.
Oh, damn.
Xavi's getting sacked, mate. So that's what I keep saying, man. Xavi's in the mud, Barcelona in the mud. It's finished, bro. You know what I mean, bro? It's crazy, bro. Like, this is what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? So, end of the day, I just look at, the manager merry-go-round, and he gonna leave. Whoever comes in for him, I don't know, but it's gonna be a madness, bro. But
I
yeah,
think Xavi's
Xavi,
gonna go to Saudi or something. This guy's not good enough.
Saudi, yeah, he was at Qatar. He was at Qatar last time, so he go back to Qatar. You know the ones there. He gonna rush back to Qatar, mate. You know what I mean? Absolute madness, man.
Another thing,
You know what I'm saying? But what? Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, the Girona team. What formation do they play? Because I haven't watched them.
Yeah, that's the manager everyone's talking about.
4-3-3.
He's the manager. Yeah.
Okay.
4-3-3. Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but many of the managers we are talking about, they play with a back three. The most exciting managers, like Leverkusen, play with a back three. Zerbi play with a back three. Many managers play with a back three. I think the conception of a back three being defensive and pragmatic, I think it's just more fluid. It is more.
Yeah, it depends how you play it, though. Depends how you play it. Yeah,
it's not accepted in England, though. That's the issue, Adam.
Exactly. It depends on how you play, because even 4-3-3 teams, when they are in possession, like for example, even Ten Hag, he plays with a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have. Like, this is why he plays some random guy at
the rest defense.
Exactly, because
what
the left back.
Real 5.
5.
Again, it's
5.
Stop it.
I swear,
Wow,
5-3.
Barcelona.
Oh no.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Wow.
My thing hasn't updated yet. But yeah, Adam, Adam, I know what you're saying, because it depends how they play their formation in attack and in the defense as well. Exactly. And rest defense and all of that stuff, yeah.
But you know what it is, Adam? Here's the thing. I don't think this formation is accepted in England, and I'll tell you why. In England, people get the conception of when you play 3 in the back, it means you're trying to defend. Historically, when you look at the prime teams that play 3 in the back, is because they're so good on the ball that they throw an extra man in the midfield or up front to attack more. People actually don't think that. People think that 3 in the back means defensive because it's 3 center backs, but that is not the case. The Dutch have used it this way. The Italians have used it this way. People look at what Mourinho used to do as an example, and Conte and them, and they think, they're just trying to put bodies in behind. But that's not usually the case. Nope. I don't see a situation where we sign a manager that plays 3 in the back and will be accepted. Promise you, Said is going to go to his first game and people are going to be moaning. They're like, oh, why is the manager defensive today? They're not going to understand that extra center back gives you more.
It depends on the more front, because you can have a back 3 and then the team is having the ball and moving it around, and people won't realize it's a back 3 because we are the ones attacking. It just
you do know Pep technically plays 3 in the back.
A lot of back 4s will move into a back 3. You know, I mean, even Sir Alex back in the day, would move into a back 3. You see one of the and Mourinho as well. One of the fullbacks end up going flying up forward. Do you know what I mean? So it's not something that you say that it's not accepted in England. I think it's just for the fact that when we have seen like a strict back 3, it's been under Conte or it's been under Tuchel, and it's been very defensive, and it's usually turned into a 5. So that's why people have kind of have turned against it, because even at times you see Pep playing with a back 3 and Klopp, and like I said, Sir Alex. So I don't think the idea of a back 3 is something where fans are against it. I think it's just the idea of the back 3 that turns into a 5. It's the different styles. That's all it is. And you look with Tuchel, he's a manager that plays predominantly with a 5 when the 3 turns into a 5 instead of the 3 turning into a 4. Do you know what I mean? So that's where it differs, in my opinion.
Exactly, because the fans will like it if you win with it, and if it's good football, like Leverkusen are playing, like they are beautiful to watch, and they play with And you have managers like Nagelsmann and Marco Rose in Germany that play with a back 3, but the criticism of those teams is that they are too easy to hit because they leave so much space, but they still have a back 3. It just depends on how you put it. It just back 3 doesn't mean defensive pragmatic setup. It just depends on the manager and how he decides to play it.
The context, isn't it? Yeah, the context.
Context, of course.
Because 3 centre backs are more defensive, but it's one more centre back, but it's one less defender because the fullbacks are playing in midfield. So at the end of the day,
I'm trying to say, Adam, that's what I'm trying to say. City technically play with 3 in the back, but people don't see it. Klopp plays with 3 in the back, but people don't see it. When Trent moves into that midfield, on paper it looks like a 4. But he actually has defenders that are good enough to build up and to defend off the ball, where Trent can be in the midfield. All these big teams do that now, but it doesn't show because
accept it. Then stuff it, so people accept it. Then
no. But here's the thing, Ash. People don't know that. People don't know because on paper, listen. When you watch the game before a game sets up, and they put when they put the graphics and it says Trent as right back, the average Liverpool fan thinks, oh, yeah, we're playing a traditional back four. But they don't really understand that Trent is technically a midfielder. Same thing with City. The average person doesn't understand that Pep actually plays three in the back because they see Kyle Walker there, they see Ake or
but we wouldn't have this player. You have to also have a midfielder who's willing to receive the ball. Maybe that's going to be Kobe Mino, but I think that's too much too soon. That's why we wanted De Jong, but he's never replaced that. We only got Casemiro. We need that player to receive the ball in that person, pick up the ball. Someone has to pick up the ball. Chelsea have Enzo. Arsenal have Declan Rice and whoever's in that midfield as well there, like Jorginho maybe. Don't really have a person who can pick up the ball, and maybe Lisandro Martinez is the one that we missed in that aspect, but you don't really have that person.
Does that for us, Saeed. He actually inverts from centre back. He actually does what Stones was doing for them last year. Yeah. But obviously, he's been out for so long that we forgot that. I think our best games this season, Saeed, have came when Delo was actually on it, especially in left back. Because I can't remember what was it. We haven't played in a while. I'm starting to forget. It was a recent game that we won, and he played in the midfield perfectly because he kept picking up that ball, and he was going slotting as a second six next to me. I need to go back and remember which game. And I looked at it. I was like, our best performances have come when we actually had the low in left back, just because we used that trick, which is having an extra body in the midfield.
And you know what, Steffi? What you said about Pep. If you go back, watch the famous Barcelona Real Madrid game where they won 5-0.
Yeah.
If you go back, it's a 4-3-3. Everyone knows Pep plays
such a long time ago. Wow.
But you know what? He plays with a back three because Dani Alves goes up, Messi tucks in, Alves is right back. You have Abidal on the left that comes in midfield. Everything shifts. You have a real movement like this where you have the striker goes a bit wide, Messi tucks in, and everything just shifts like I don't know how many degrees. Everything shifts, and you end up with a back three. And if you go
Abidal was his Gavardio, if you really think it, because Abidal wasn't a very good left back. But he was very good at slotting as a third center back. That's why he used him there.
And when he played the season, when they won
Newcastle, big up Andy.
Yeah, Pep's second.
De Jong is crap. Now, De Jong would still go in this Man United team. Let's not do this, guys. De Jong
I don't think so.
The thing is, let me ask you a question here, guys. Yeah, who do you think? Because I spoke to a lot of people. Yeah, midfield. I don't know. The talent's not saying it's dried up yet, but you have to get the right caliber midfielder. Who in the world right now are you looking at midfielders wise that would slot into Man United's team right now? Let me know in the chat. By the way, I've always looked at someone like Barella. For me, I like Barella. I think it's one of them. But who have you looked at and thought, we need him in midfield? Because I can't lie, the midfield market is looking a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like a bit flat right now. Can't lie.
I'm a big fan of Enzo Fernandez. I can't lie.
Enzo Fernandez.
I don't think he's physical enough for this league, though.
Yeah, but then again, when a team is struggling and the guy is small, that's what people say. But then again, like player of the season was on Juan Mata and Eden Hazard. So I think it depends on the team.
But they played in higher positions, so it's a little bit different. Yeah. Like the position for me is it's much different. I think Enzo's a very good footballer. Don't remember.
Let's steal it off Arsenal.
Yeah, Zubimendi at Sociedad.
Zubimendi, I've watched him a couple of times. Very, very talented. Very, very talented.
Against us as well, Side, if you remember in the Europa League as well. Played very well against us.
Do you mean attacking midfield or defensive?
No, midfielders. For me, attacking
like right in the middle.
Midfielders, I want just midfielders. I big up Lee Raid for the.
I used to like Kimmich, but I don't know how he's been playing recently. But I used to like Kimmich.
Kimmich's a good one. Kimmich's a very, very good one.
And he could play the wing as well, the wing back. I mean, he could play as a right back and he can slot into the midfield as well. So I feel like for United that would be good.
I don't know if you noticed, but the right back in centre midfield is the best switch. Like right backs don't do well at right wing, but right backs do well in which is a funny
thing.
Conor Gallagher. Listen, Chelsea fans, please leave us alone. Leave us alone, man. We don't want Conor Gallagher. You know what? We don't want no cast-offs, man. No more cast-offs, man. You know what I'm saying to you? No more cast-offs. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want players that failed somewhere else anymore. I'm tired. I want new players. You know who said it perfect? Leon said it. He said, "I want players that I don't know."
Yeah.
And I think that's perfect because there's good players out there that none of us here are qualified scouts. I would love to say, I would assume none of us here are scouts. So let's go get the right profile players, but not necessarily that we know them because they were a hype at another team or another league or another competition. That's really what we need. We need to move down that road. Sorry, Ash, you was saying something.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. I mean, the market's dry; it's dead, isn't it? You know, I was looking at that Gabi. Was it Gabi Vieira who went to the Saudi league from Celta Vigo? He was linked with
Viega.
Yeah,
Viega.
Yeah. He was looking exceptional at the time. You know, same with Neves. Neves would have done a job for us. Do you know what I mean? You know, going to Saudi instead. You got this Redondo kid coming out of Argentina. Everyone's talking about at the moment. Who's looking beast. Italy, like you said, Barella, Locatelli, who's kind of fading a little bit, but you know could get a move and you know reestablish himself. But generally, there's no one out there other than Jude. Jude's not even playing the midfield at the moment, is he? He's playing higher up.
No.
So
exactly.
Yeah, you know, as soon as anyone finds any quality, they're pushing them as far forward as possible because the striker market's pretty dead as well, and the attacking market's dead. Right now, players are just too robotic, and there's no creativity. There's none of that individualism because they're so trained nowadays. You know, for the kids to be to follow schemes and follow routines and stuff rather than kind of explore their individualism, like you see with the Ronaldinhos and the Zidans and in the past with the Cruyffs and stuff. So we're struggling to find these kind of players, these superstars that are
because you know
is he still playing nowadays? Coney? Is he still
no Coney at
at
Gladbach? You mean Gladbach? Yeah. Decent. There's Kefren Turam at Nice who you know maybe we could do something there. You know, get him a little bit cheaper than we should do. You know, for FFP and all that. So. Yeah, no, but we're struggling Premier League. You were talking maybe Onana at Everton, but is he good enough really?
Nah, I don't rate him at all, man.
Nah, exactly.
I don't rate him at all.
It's a good point what you said, Ash. It's a good point. Players they are robotic because they are not in love with the game anymore like they used to.
100%.
They don't want to develop relation. You need to develop relationship with the ball. And players, they don't have that. They do it as a job. It's like they work 9 to 5, and then the money they have. What matters is what after the 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the Ronaldinhos, the Zidane, the players.
And there's too much pressure from the parents. Parents putting pressure on these kids to perform, to make money and all that, rather than just falling in love with the game just because you love the game. Do you know what I mean? And practicing kicking the ball against, just practicing skills and that. You're not allowed to skill. Do you know what I mean? These days, doing step overs, doing turnbacks, all that. Do you know what I mean? It's pass the ball and move. That's all it is today, and it's unfortunate we're losing that individualism and that quality. Look at Jack Grealish at City. Do you know what I mean? Looked at Aston Villa, beautiful player, loads of individual quality, loads of creativity. It's almost been dragged and killed out of him. Do you know what I mean? Under Pep Guardiola, because he's like drilling him with routines and consistent routines, and that's just the way football is at the moment, unfortunately.
The GA the stats, people they don't appreciate the game because they need to get numbers because they know if they don't get numbers, they won't get appreciated. And that is a big problem because we have players like Thiago Alcantara, for example, or Marco Verratti.
Yeah.
You're artists. They don't score goals. They don't make the assist. And those players are not
many.
Exactly. Those players are not.
You know what? Scolari said this today. Scaloni said this today. I'm going to bring you a quote of Scaloni. You know, I think that's a very, very good point that he made about
Michael Carrick, for example. I see United fans talking about Carrick. But when we had Carrick in his prime between 06 and 2012, United fans didn't like him that much, did they?
I loved him.
Let me read this quote here from Scaloni. He said, "We are losing the essence of football, not only at professional level, but also with kids. My children play in Spain are overwhelmed with information. They receive the ball, they are already being told what to do. There are fewer dribblers because if they barely get the ball, you say, pass it. Imagine if Messi, when he was 8 years old, had been consistently told his coaches to pass it. We wouldn't have him today. Football has become such a thing that everyone reads, studies, and thinks that with that they can already manage. Yeah, tacticals. If you tell 7, 8-year-old to make the dialogue run confident defensively, he's 7 years old. Let him play with the ball, make mistakes, and when he's 14, 15, we can start correcting. It's a match for the future. This is sport, and the beauty of football should not be lost. This is what I keep saying, man. You know what I mean? I always tell people, watch football with your own eyes. Yeah, don't be watching football with SofaScore on. That's one thing I always say with football. And I think stats is kind of, for me, like, it's just, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people determine their viewpoint on players with GA. If they don't get output, they're not a great player. And then obviously the art of football is now, there's a lot of players who are just system-based players. When you take them out of the system, they don't really look good in that kind of reality. So yeah, man, I don't know, man. I just think for me, we need to get footballers now, and that's what United need to do. Get technical footballers, which in any system look good. You put them out there, they don't need to be micromanaged. They don't need to be, go and put this ball and put it into that. No, like they're good footballers, and that's what I want to see in the new era with the new manager. Good footballers. And listen, look at Brighton. This is what I do admire about sometimes a little bit about De Zerbi is that he's made average players look good. In that regards, like he has made players who would have heard of look decent. So, but the other
what it is with that side, yeah?
Yeah.
Like even just to cut you off, just to touch on that, it's like Brighton players want the ball. Like all of their players want the ball. Like you can pass it around. They want the ball. They want the ball, and they want to hold on to it. And it's funny.
Yeah.
When I was watching Arsenal and Palace. A lot of the Palace players, they want the ball. Like we've lost that United. Like these players pass and run away, man. It's crazy, man. Yeah.
You know what? I'm a bit torn on the system thing and people blame Pep for this, but Pep goes in a very strict and very like methodical, scientific method, but he still picks artists and footballers to play in there. This is why he is as successful as he is. He goes and get talented footballer to play there because at the end of the day, the purpose, the goal is to win trophies, and he knows that. And when you get a system, you get good players in a system to follow instructions, you reduce the margins for errors because players, even the most talented players, have days off. They have children that don't sleep at night. They have newborn babies. There are still people. And when that player, for example, Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva, is not on his day, at least he knows that he has instructions that can make it easy on him. So he's not inspired, but he knows, okay, this is a trigger press. I need to run there, get the ball, move it. It's not my day. I'm off, but at least I'm not going to hurt the team because I have instructions to follow. And when the players is actually on it, well, then you have like master classes because Messi with Pep was disgusting. Kevin De Bruyne is disgusting at times. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, Leroy Sané, the season when he won with the 100 points, he was probably the most underrated player in that team. He was probably the best, to be honest. David Silva, because those are artists, and when you put them in a setup where they can actually get the creativity out of it, it's different class. It really is.
Adam, do you know what? Go on, Ash. Yeah.
Go for it.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Talent's the fail-safe in that system. So they've got the system, they've got what they're supposed to do, and then talent is the fail-safe. If it's not
just
working,
gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
There you go, Rhino. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So go on, you finish it then. Do you know what I mean?
It's like they're just giving the direction, and then their IQ they can kind of make it their own based on how the game's going. So that's why De Bruyne and all of these Rodri that they're so good because they know how to kind of read the game and adjust to it, but still follow the direction that Pep wants, kind of thing. So 100%, yeah.
And when you start with a system that works and the players they start noticing that it works, now they become confident. They know, you know what, this thing is going well, and then the confidence brings actually talent out way more. So now you have players, and also when the threat of making a pass is real, the dribble is way more useful and efficient. You can't dribble if you don't have a threat of making a pass because they know they have to cover you. This is why our players are not good dribblers. We criticize Rashford for trying to dribble past 3 players, and we criticize Sancho and Anthony for making a backward pass. That means the players, they don't have a good option. Either way, we criticize.
They have low IQ as well, don't they? They have low football IQ. They don't understand that. They're not intelligent players.
We got a lot of United, though. We got a lot of low IQ footballers in United. Like, generally, Anthony, low IQ. Bruno, for me, low IQ. Rashford, low IQ. Bro, we got a lot of players. McTominay, low IQ.
Low Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah,
I mean, even the defensive players. You know what I mean?
I think the only IQ players we have are Martinez, Johnny Evans, Varane.
Yeah,
and Everton probably
as well.
Yeah, Mino. Yeah,
I think Mino.
Ahmad, there you go.
That's sad, man.
I think the thing that I find funny with Mino is he's my type of player. I really, really like the look of him.
Yeah. Top player.
He was an 18-year-old from the academy, and let's suppose he's 29-year-old from Italy. I don't think the fans would love him that much because what does he do? Making good passes and reading the play.
As you said about Michael Carrick just not being appreciated. Do you know what I mean? Just keeping things ticking and keeping the ball. Do you know what I mean? Just because that's what you need in that midfield. You know, sometimes people just don't understand that. They 5-yard intelligent pass. You know, even though it's nothing spectacular, it's important. You know, it's one of those things that all the top teams have.
Look at these guys. You know what I watched about City yesterday? Sorry to cut you off. What I noticed about City yesterday, everybody interchanging. You know, you're looking at these guys here, Edison,
so
Rodri.
Good,
bro, the way they interchange the football, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just night and day, bro. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, pass, move, pass. You get me, lad? That's what United need to create as well. I'm not saying create their whole philosophy, but I'm saying, like, it's good to watch good football, man. You know what I mean? And that's why.
And also, side on top of that, the patience. They know not to force it sometimes. Let's relax a bit and let's recycle it slowly again. And you know what I mean?
You know, Old Trafford fans don't have that, you know, and it pisses me off.
They don't like it, man.
They don't like it. They're screaming, get the ball up, attack, all that nonsense.
And it probably gets to the players.
Yeah, it does. And you start seeing them panic, like, oh, you know, you got 60,000 people all trying to rush him and all that. That's why I worry about De Zerbi, because De Zerbi's done something in football that he's kind of new and fresh. He's got this like time philosophy where he stands on the ball. He gets players to stand on the ball. And I don't know if you've seen it. He draws players in. And it's almost like the play stops for like a good solid like 10 seconds. You know, everything almost goes quiet, and he baits the team in, and then looks to break through the lines there. That's something that if we see at Old Trafford, we're shouting for the ball, attack, these moans and groans, and I'm worried about that, because honestly, a big chunk of the Old Trafford faithful, we don't understand what we're watching. Well, not speaking for myself, but look, you know, a lot of people around me, and you'll see it when you're there. It's mad, and
City do that very well as well. City do that very well. Yeah.
They did that under Louis Van Gaal. If you guys remember, we have to go back to the archives and look for that one. They asked him about that. They were like, "Oh, basically the fans are saying like the football's not good enough. They're always screaming attack," and he was like, "Well, we can't always attack for 90 minutes, can we?" Like, I need to go back and find that interview, and I'll probably send it to you, Saeed. Exactly. And it's actually a very good point, because unfortunately, we just have a fan base that doesn't really understand a lot of football outside of what we've seen under Sir Alex, and rightfully so, because like we just won a lot of trophies playing a certain style of football, and it was attacking a lot, especially in the second half of games, and that's why we always scored late. But since then, I think people have found it hard to accept that there's different football styles outside of just saying attack. And look at us 11 years later, we're still struggling with it. We struggle with managers that come in and they try to do something different and kind of modernize the football to what it is right now compared to what we played 10 years ago.
Exactly. And this is the job of the manager and the players, to not listen to that and not get rattled and show the crowd what works.
Play the game. Yeah, stick to the game.
Play the game, but not the occasion. Facts. Exactly. Play the game or not. Don't listen to the fans. Like Rashford's getting rattled by the fan base, you know, onto him. Man's doing that to the fan base. I'm like, bro, play your game. Bro, play your game, bro.
After one goal.
You know it is.
One goal at home all season, and he's doing that. That's insane.
That was embarrassing.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. It's crazy, man.
Maguire.
But, looking at the game tomorrow, what would be your kind of like thought process of is it just FA Cup now or bust for Ten Hag? Like, is it a situation of got to win this FA Cup now? I would have wanted Man City to go out, man. Fucking Tottenham let me down yesterday, man. But it is what it is, man. But FA Cup tomorrow, man. Newport County. I want to see 4-5-0, bro. I want to see a thrashing. Like, we need to have no mercy tomorrow. Like, genuinely, I need to see 4-5-0 tomorrow. If we just go over the line again like we did against Wigan, I can't lie to you, man. I'm not really feeling that, bro. I'll be real with you.
The physicality in Newport. Can't be doing this. Come on, Saeed. They're going to be physical. They're going to be running. They're going to be pushing the players around. Our players get bullied too easy. They're soft. Do you know what I mean? They're going to go into Newport and they're going to get rattled. Do you know what I mean? You know, you even saw it a little bit at Wigan. You know, they're at Wigan and you seen them not able to kind of create anything in the final third or do anything. And Rashford struggling against the League One fullback and all that. It's just, you know
it's
what?
Like they think they're too pretty to be touched. Like, don't mess up my boots, or like, I don't know what it is.
How dare you touch me? Do you know what I mean? How dare you
I'm Rashford, don't touch my boots. Like,
yeah, you know what that was,
It's going to win itself because we are Manchester United. No, you need to win it. It's not going to win itself. You need to go out there and do the job.
And I think we're gonna get if we're gonna beat them by a good game. If we're gonna beat them well, it's gonna be a 3-0. All the time we always win 3-0, and the games doesn't even reflect the scoreline. It's mad, man. That 3-0.
You know what? I want us to win, but I don't want us to win like by 3 or 4 goals, because our players are so dumb that they could actually think they are back and they are good enough, and we might get spun the game off.
Nah, never with his team. Never with his team, bro.
It should be like a 5-6. Realistically, it should be 5-6 easy, but.
Yeah, but then again, bro,
it should be. Should be. Well, you know, Maguire's back now. I think Maguire's back. A couple of players are back tomorrow. What would be your kind of like lineup or whatnot? Yeah, in terms of your teams or whatnot. Bayern is going to start tomorrow. Who do you want to see in
I'm
the
happy
team
about
tomorrow?
that.
Because again, there's a lot of players now available now. You know what I mean? That Casemiro's back. There's a couple of players that are back now. This guy's got a lot of issues now to deal with, and good issues as well. He's got to find out what's going on. You know,
I'd want to give minutes. I'd want to give minutes to the players that are coming back from injury, like Casemiro and Martinez, and that. You get some more minutes in the legs and stuff. There's no reason to play Rashford and Bruno in this one, so I'll happily play. I'm not sure if Ahmad's fit, but he should be. He should be playing. Højlund, we need him to get him scoring goals. So, I mean, it's one of those where I feel like Eriksen, Maino in the midfield and Casemiro should be able to do a job with him themselves. And then you got Ahmad, Højlund, and say Garnacho off the left. Fullback wise, Luke Shaw's not back yet, is he? So again, we're stuck with, and maybe even play Lindelof on the right. Do you know what I mean? And then put the low. You just kind of rest players. Do you know what I mean?
I can't have Lindelof. I'm done with that guy.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's just one of those where if players can get even a little bit more rest, then it's better for the long run. Although saying that, we've got nothing to play for over the next couple of months really. So
one game a week, one game a week, man. I'm saying it's it's Premier League only. Sorry, FA Cup only, man. We lose this work, we're finished. Well, absolutely finished. So that's what's happened to Malacia. Listen, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine about Malacia, man. Malacia is, I don't know what he's doing, man.
He's back to training next week. He's back to
training next week. Mason Mount, hopefully, like I said, that guy should come back and start realizing he's a footballer now, and he needs to play as well.
What difference is that going to make, Said? What do you mean, hopefully? What is that going to do for us?
Well, I don't know, man. Because honestly, people want to say, "Oh, but he's a good player," so I want to find out if he's a good player or not, man. Yeah, even though I know what he is anyway, we need to find out if he's a good player or not.
But one of the reasons why Ten Hag needs to go is because his best team and the team he spent money on is not going to be the team he picks when he has all of his players. Because he's not going to pick Bruno, Mount, and Casemiro because he's going to play Maino in there. And he spent money on Anthony. So what is he going to do with Anthony? So that means he's not going to play Ahmad. But if he has some sense and he plays Ahmad, well, then what are you doing with the Anthony money? And makes zero sense. This is why I don't think the injury is that big of a deal, the injuries we had, because even if we had a full squad, he's still going to pick McTominay. Like, he captained us to Anfield. Let's not forget that. So,
don't want to see McTominay. Don't want to see him. Do you know what I mean?
Nah,
why aren't we selling McTominay in this window? Do you know what I mean? Why is he not being moved on? Why aren't we selling these players? Come on, what is going on? Like, we're not doing any kind of business this window.
I've got a scholarship.
Nothing.
I've got a scholarship.
We're done.
I could chip in for McTominay. I'm willing to do it. Get him gone. Buy him from someone.
Nah, man. I think for me, like you said, Rhino, man, sink the ship, bro. We go into summer. This summer's gonna be huge, man, in terms of who's leaving, who's staying, who's gonna be here. You know what I mean, bro? Like, them man have to maybe fight for their careers, man, till the end of the season. Like, Anthony, all these guys have to fight for their jobs, man. You know what I mean? And fight and see if they're gonna be here or not. So yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Someone here, last comment here, says, I forgot we actually signed Mason Mount. Bro, I think everyone's forgot. I seen some TikTok video going viral today on Twitter, but I think that was from 2 years ago, to be fair. But still, it just shows you, man, like, anything will trigger the fan base, innit? Because, you know what I mean? They're just thinking, this guy's doing TikTok videos and we fucking need to play, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, Said? You know why people forgotten? Because no one looks at him. He's like, oh, he's the guy that was going to fix us. We all look at injuries and wait until I get this guy back. Wait until I get that guy back. City look at De Bruyne. They're like, oh, wait until we get De Bruyne and Haaland back. Spurs, an example. Oh, wait until we get Bissouma and Madison back. Liverpool now. Oh, wait until we got Salah back. Who are we looking at? Mount. Mount is really going to do anything for us.
Because you know what? The Mason Mount thing, I quite like Mount. But if we had a good team, if we had a good team competing for top honors and we got him on top of a very successful team for 40 million, that's a good bit of business. Great squad there. Good player to have.
Do you know what I think as well? Sorry to cut you off, Adam. I think what the fan base is guilty of as well is because you're seeing the I'm talking about the people that want Mount back. Because you're seeing repetitive bad play. Sometimes you just want to see something new, something different. So because Mount's been away for a while, it's like, okay, let's see if Mount can do something like. But yeah,
he's not gonna do nothing, Brian. I'll tell you that.
He's so bad, man.
I'll tell you that for
the way his demeanor annoys me. It's like, it's so annoying.
Nah, 100%, bro, 100%. This last comment here before we wrap up, yeah. If Ten Hag wins the FA Cup, does he stay for next year?
No, Van Gaal win the cup and
Van Gaal him, bro. Van Gaal him. Van Gaal him, man.
So here's why it's a no. We won a domestic cup last season and finished third. He would have won, and now let's say he wins the FA Cup. So that's another domestic trophy, but he finished outside the top 4. So by definition, he regressed. He actually took us to 2 cup finals last season. So he still technically regressed. So
even if he wins it, he's regressed. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So what's the point of keeping him?
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks for the cup. I'll see you later. You know, just to add to our tally. Thanks for the cup. We'll see you later.
But how finished 5th with a cup with a young squad, and we got rid of him. And he had a lot. He actually was the only one who actually committed to a rebuild. We had so many kids in that team.
And people criticize the boring football, but what I've noticed recently is boring football is a step towards good football. It's good football without quality.
City is boring to watch. Does anyone here enjoy watching City? No, because the games are so boring, and they're always
boring. That means you're consistent. That means you always do the same things. So regardless of how you play, if it's defensive counter-attacking or possession-based like Van Gaal, if it's boring, at least the players know what to do, and then you add the quality on it. And all of a sudden,
Adam, that's exactly what I said outside. I don't know if you remember, I said that on the Man Them Talk months ago. We just need to fill the foundation, and then we can raise the quality after. Once everyone knows what they're doing, left back's doing what a left back should be doing, right back's doing the right back job. We don't see people being shoehorned into mad positions. We've set a foundation, then we improve the quality. Simple.
Because one of the best signs to know a team is not good is that you don't know which position to improve. Like we had the conversation earlier in the show. Midfield, wingers, defense, what is it? But if the team is actually consistent and stable, okay, well, we need a good striker because we are creating, we are not finishing. Or you know what? We are weak at left back, but we know we are weak at left back. And then you can pick and get the money you want and put it into one area. But at the moment, we could put like $1 billion all across the pitch, all over the pitch. And maybe we wouldn't be able to improve.
Yeah. But now, what a show, man. What a debate show, man. Like I said, it was a bit more chilled out today. Bit more, you know what I mean? Nobody had any arguments today. Listen, this is what it's about, man. Debate show, different opinions, different variety. Please, guys, if you're watching right now, hit the like button. I don't know how many likes we're currently on, but if we're not at 500, we've had, 1,000 people at one point here. Still got 800 in the building. Let's see if we've got 500. 412 likes. So let's get them likes up before we go. Let's get it up to 500 people, man. Good show. Tomorrow I'll be back with a watch along. So we'll get there. Someone said no, Marcel. That's why. Nah, don't worry, man. He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back. What's this here?
I like
Andre
Marcel.
Onana and President Samuel Eto'o had a bust up after the win against Gambia. Wow. And other guys, it's crazy. But listen, Onana can do whatever he wants over there, man.
I say, when I think of Onana, I just think of that clip when the woman's interviewing him and he's like, how can I go for the best goalkeeper in the champion? That video is so funny to me.
We need to improve self-awareness. We need to hire someone to work on self-awareness.
Yeah.
I appreciate his
confidence. I appreciate he's confident, but anywhere under the football pitch. You know what I mean, bro? That's the problem, man. But listen, big up to everyone here. Ash, big up to Adam, big up to Rhino, big up to Staffy, big up to you lot for coming on, man. I appreciate you guys coming on, man.
A pleasure.
Of course, man. Of course.
Listen, look, like Saeed said, variety, and you know what they say about variety. Variety is the spice of life. So,
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'm about to go live as well.
Yes.
I was going to say, I'm about to go live as well. So shout out, Saeed. I know you're about to redirect, but listen to everyone who's still here. We're about to go to my channel, have a show going on, have a few rivals on. So if you guys want to stay for more football content, stay on this stream. It's going to take us there. And listen, for different content, this is the shout out I wanted to give. We're doing something different today. The Royal Rumble's on today. So I'm like, you know what, bro? People are tired of football. Let's do a Royal Rumble tonight. So tonight, whenever the Royal Rumble is, we're doing a live watch.
By the way,
old school.
I'm gonna shout you. I'm gonna shout you for the Super Bowl, man. I'm gonna do America with the Super Bowl. So if you're about, I'll shout you.
No. You want
get me on the Super Bowl. I'm down for that. I watch all NFL.
You're down.
Watch loads of NFL.
Let me tell you something, because I don't watch a lot of NFL, but you want Temmie, because Temmie's team, Temmie's from I think he's from Baltimore originally, or I just know he's from Maryland. his team, Baltimore, might be in the Super Bowl final. So you actually might want to get Temi on that one. I'm very
Lamar
bad when it
Jackson's
comes
a
to
beast.
yeah, we need to
By
see
the
what's going
way,
to happen there.
breaking news, apparently. Athletic are reporting Marcus Rashford was in Belfast nightclub hours before reporting himself as too ill to train
Yeah,
on
we saw the
Friday
pictures.
Oh yeah, I
morning.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the
Man
video.
United,
Saw the clips.
Man United were informed Rashford had only been out on Wednesday night.
Oh,
Guys are
So
bum.
again, more drama on that one there. Well, listen,
Did they
we'll
just
have
post
to
this
get on
now,
that one.
Said? Did they
Hey,
just post that now?
right now, yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Man
Yeah.
United, Manchester Rashford went out in Belfast the night before, before reporting himself as too ill to attend Man United training.
hangover.
So we'll see. But guys, head over to Staffy TV. I'm not doing the Nigeria watch along. You know what I'm saying to you? Not really. I'll watch it though, but I won't do the watch along. So guys, check it out, people. Staffy TV. We're out. Peace.